Australia is also famous for many art schools and institutes. You opened several schools in Australia, I believe, before you opened your schools in Vietnam. How were those experiences different?
I think in Australia, I think it's much easier because there's very little convincing to parents the importance of the arts and how important it is to have these enriched programs for kids to get into the top schools in Australia. I mean, I went to St Kevin's College in Melbourne, which is an APS school, one of the top schools over there, and then I had the amazing opportunity to go to Melbourne High School, which is one of the toughest schools to get into. And I know that I couldn't have gone into those schools if I didn't have my music, if I didn't have the arts, sports to be part of the portfolio. And so, there's very little convincing, and ultimately it's just about having a product that fits the market. And I was very lucky to have worked with a lot of the professionals, and I saw in Australia at the time I was still there was this gap between education and industry. And as an education guy and an industry guy, the thing was to find the intersection so that kids could be well informed of how to get into the industry. And so coming back to Vietnam, I think the biggest hurdle for us is to share with parents the importance of the arts, the importance of a holistic education, the importance of sports, and not just having good scores in math. It's hard because, like Howard Gardner would share, changing mindsets are very difficult. And you've got to work in a very multidisciplinary way to be able to get a message out there that portrays a product in the right light, but it can still be touched, And because traditionally the arts and sports and what we call extracurricular, Vietnamese people call it extracurricular. And the moment you call it extra, it means that it's extra, which means that if anything goes wrong, or if there's COVID, or if the kids get too busy with other stuff, the arts and the sports and all the extra stuff go first. So it's about relabeling things. We call it enrichment programs, because what it does is that it enriches the portfolio of the child, it enriches the soul of the child, it enriches the personality of the child. And I think if we can convince parents that the arts and the enrichment programs are the things that will build the identity of the child, which then becomes their unique selling point, then I think we've got a better chance. And so I think changing mindsets, and then you've got the generations. You've got the older generation, you've got the new generation coming through. Kids today are so tech savvy, they see so much news and information from the internet. I think it's difficult for parents and children to connect together. And when you have that kind of disconnection within the family, I think that's how, first of all, that's how issues arise. And secondly, that's where when you have a mismatch of mindsets, it's very, very difficult to have alignment.
Wow, anh Thanh Bùi, that was beautiful, that was powerful, and so utterly poetic at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seasons of love.